Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
One sec.
How do you
How
make...
far away?
Everybody ready?
And I guess Lou is gonna go up and parlay.
Okay, yeah, just real quick to recap.
Just
There's not much to recap. You guys came up to the top floor of the Wizard Tower, which turned out to be more of a pyramid. You found what you guys probably would have expected to be in the rest of the tower. Just papers scattered around everywhere. Open ink vials with quills in them, like spread all over the place, like or not hundreds, but like mini desks to work on, a lot of books and bookshelves, but it's all like just general chaos in here. There's even some like weapons and armor scattered about, sitting on chests and whatnot. And Lou was stepping forward to do something. Oh, and the wizard noticed you guys. That's right. He turned around and was surprised.
okay. So you're gonna kind of come up here. What's the lighting like?
It's pretty well lit. It's
Okay.
there's a lot of lit candles and stuff. It's like you're an average, like, because guys look past the elf, and there's this open casual area behind him with a table set up. It looks like it's like a nice little area for like an overlook. But you look out and there is no sky. It's just a void.
Lou's gonna kind of come over here, do as non-threatening as possible. Say, "Hello there."
Begin to move his hands and mutter something in a way that would be obvious to you is that he is casting a spell.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're just passing adventurers. Wanted to chat with you. Maybe do a little trading. Holds up his hands.
He completes his spell. Nothing visual happens other than runes light up in the air for a moment before fading away. He says, "Okay, now I can understand you. How did you all get in here?"
We knocked on the door.
And he says, no. How did you get into my tower?"
We followed the clay golems in. They were very polite, by the way.
You see him pinch the bridge of his nose and just give a very long sigh before kind of leaning down onto his desk again, looking like a little just tired and a little defeated, and just like mutters under his breath, "Those fucking idiots."
Yeah, and they even helped us downstairs. They're very, very helpful.
He sinks a little further and takes a seat at his desk and just says, "I need to update the security. I have to, that needs to go to the top of my list." And then he asks, "What about the traps? Surely there was 3 floors worth of traps."
We're a pretty hardy bunch. You know, we just kind of are avoiding. We don't like to get stabbed, so we did our best not to.
Three of us just have like collective flashbacks to me burning down a bunch of doors.
found
Um,
that healing thing as well.
but that being said, we're actually here for a reason. This tall lady behind me is currently being pursued by a cult that she used to be part of. And they are tracking her magically. So we have made a deal where if we can bring a merchant a crystal ball, then he will provide us with a amulet that'll prevent her from being tracked.
And as you bring up the crystal ball, you see on his desk, sitting on this like small cushioned pillow, this a small crystal ball. He then says to you, "That's terrible, but a crystal ball is no easy thing to part with. Neither is it a common item. I don't think that is something I can just hand off to you all. You 3 strangers that have broken into my home."
Or strangers, thank you very much.
Just from the back corner. Four strangers!
Hiding
What if
behind the
you
bookshelf.
look at Hans because Hans is like sneaking? Could we trade something for it?
Just real quick, don't trade him his own loot.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd be willing to make a good deal.
He kind of pinches the bridge of his nose again, and just like puts his face on his fist, and just says, "I'm studying some very experimental magic here. I doubt any of you could understand."
Also, I'm sorry, where are my manners? What is your name? I am Lou.
I am Ferdinand. This is my tower.
Like the bull, Ferdinand.
Yes, like the bull.
Well met, Ferdinand.
And he kind of gestures to the room around him and says, "This is my Turum Sectari. You're trespassing, and I'd like you to leave now."
Oh, well, is there any sort of service we could provide you? Kinda really need that crystal ball.
He shakes his head and sighs and says, "If you can travel to Utiz and to the Great Library of Myrics, maybe we could talk. If you could dig up the ruins of Nigas 2, maybe we could talk. Can you do either of those things?"
How far away is that library?
He shakes his head and says, Utiz is the continent west of here.
Well, that's fair. So long as we aren't being tracked magically, we can go get you those.
He kind of rolls his eyes and sighs and says, how about this? How much did those necklaces cost?
I don't remember.
So one necklace would cost, I think he said 250.
We would need 300 gold for that necklace.
He looks to one side where a chest is. He waves a hand. The chest opens a little bit, and a golden crown, jewel encrusted, flies over to him into his hands and says, "I need to know some things. How about I pay you off in exchange for some information?"
Sure.
Seems
That
fair.
sounds good. Yeah.
Depends on what the information is. It can be a very secretive man.
Lou, on the other hand.
I've fallen a little behind the current state of affairs, it seems, in the world. I don't leave my tower too often. I'm very busy. In fact, I'm not completely sure how long I've been here. How long has it been since the Elven Empire has fallen in Hibernia?
Alright,
Well-
somebody with a history check.
Yeah.
Jax
it
does
goes.
not know.
Ooh, Ophelia might know.
Character sheet, always never around when I need it.
So, this all rings a bell to Ophelia. She being raised in a extremist, exclusionary, elven terrorist organization that glorified the previous Elvish Empire. She knows that he's referring to the Edihad cuisine, the name of the official, like in their language, name of the Elvish Empire. And you would know that the province he's talking about is a sub-province of Brutania, which housed most of the northwestern section of the continent you guys are on right now. And you would know that it fell at least 200 or 300 years ago.
Mr. Ferdinand, it fell at least 200 or 300 years ago.
You see his face, it's that slow transition from like calm inquisition to total like shock and like disbelief as he kind of like sits back in his chair and says, it's been that long.
To put it another way, you're the first living elf we've actually run into since we've got here.
Isn't Hans an
Or,
elf?
of your kind.
Yeah, Hans is elf and Kazra was an elf. But yeah, of this kind. Yeah, you're right, of this kind. And he says, he shakes his head, kind of like looks off to one side of the room with like 100-yard stare and just says, 300 years. How? He seems to be kind of stuck in a state of shock at the moment.
Yeah.
Lose telekinesis. Test the crystal ball at the top of the table.
How long did you think you were in here for?
And he thinks for a moment and says, it could have been more than 50. There's no way.
Years?
Yeah, but it's so hard to tell when there's no sky or seasons.
That's fair.
And then he leans forward and says, what about the countries? What are the official organizations that claim land in the world now?
We're currently in Britain. Did that exist when you entered?
He shakes his head. No, the land I lived in was known as Hibernia.
Hibernia.
So clearly times have changed.
Definitely seem that way.
We're in Breton.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're right next to the huge treason empire. And then you've got Kingdom of Chan, Mineralumine Union, Rathian Theocracies,
And
Kingdom of
Ye-
Chiva.
he leans forward and says, I don't recognize any of these. And a new empire has risen.
Does Lou have a map?
I don't think any
No,
of
no,
them have a
actually,
map.
yeah, I was about to say I have my own. No, but I don't have a map.
Restallion Trade Company.
Sorry. But what was he saying?
Kingdom of Luthia.
Continue
United
singing.
Province of Barogia.
Yeah.
Dundee.
He leans forward and says, I don't recognize any of these. A whole empire has risen in just what you said, 200 or 300 years.
Several empires.
Yeah, I mean
Several
that's
empires.
yeah, that's just when like the elves like that's just when the elven countries like got messed up. I mean, it could have been longer for all we know. You could have been-
There's a lot of discord in the lands these days. People disagree on everything, so everyone has to have their own place to have their own ideas.
Good way of putting it.
And he kind of like leans forward. He's still in shock and just says, so you're saying in just let's say only 200 years, several empires have risen.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
how many people? How what's their population?
Lots.
we gotta be in the millions. Few millions, right?
That's fair. Yeah, that'd be fair to say. Definitely that roll. Yeah, that'd be fair to say. You see him like sit back again. It's like,
Lots
okay.
of actually. Does Lou know the history check?
I mean, I can't give you exact number, but yeah, it's like millions especially in the Treason Empire.
It's like he's reading a Where Are They Now article about like pop stars.
And he says, that shouldn't be possible. What's the dominant race in the lands now?
Humans.
Like this guy back here.
And he
Can't
kind
get
of
away
like
from it.
he kind of turns his head to one side, and he looks over to Jax and says, "You mean the Galax?
Yeah, Alex.
The Galax?"
You
I'm
mean
assuming that's what humans were called back then.
And he says, he shakes his head and says, "The Galax have formed empires."
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, this is just like a brain explosion for him right now. He's just continually like sitting back up, asking a question, and slowly sitting back down in his chair, like, "What the fuck?"
if you'd like, you can come out and see.
He quickly says, "No. I have to stay here. I have to. I'm the overseer of this tower. I can't. There's people here that rely on me, so I can't leave."
What is this tower?
Lou kind of scurries back. Should we tell him that there wasn't anybody downstairs?
I don't know, man. Should we really rock the boat?
I kind of think we should tell him.
Boat's been rocked. We can't unrock it. I think we should rock it even more. Let's see if we can get that crystal ball too.
You think so? He's
Yeah.
paying us a crown.
If he pays us a crown and then we get the crystal ball, I'm just saying.
I think we should tell him that there's nobody downstairs at least.
Yeah, I don't trust this guy, so I need to know more information about what's going on here.
So Lou kind of comes back. So, sorry, it's just we're just kind of talking and we just realized that when was the last time you left this floor?
And he says, "My work is incredibly important. Everything I need is up here. My golems bring me everything I need. I don't need to leave that often."
Okay, because there's nobody except for the golems downstairs.
He says, "I know that.
So the golems are your people then?
No, not the golems. My people are in. I shouldn't tell you this, but they're in stasis tubes."
What the
And you guys think back, and you remember that large room with the glowing cylindrical structures? The room where Ophelia tripped a frost rune and had it blow up in her face?
Yeah, I remember that.
You guys think back to that, and suddenly that room makes a little bit more sense.
So, what exactly is going on here?
And he shakes his head and says, "I shouldn't tell you all. I don't know who any of you are.
I'm Lou.
We just gave you a lot of information. I think we deserve.
He nods his head and says,
Paper
yes, and
rebate.
I'm paying you for that.
Fair.
Truly is.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that. As much as I want to.
Is there anything, like, are your people ever gonna come out of stasis? Like, what are they waiting for?
You see him kind of like slowly like look over the entirety of his room. He looks down and looks over his like grossly disheveled current appearance, and then like slowly looks back to you all and says, "That's what I'm trying to find out. I tried using some experimental magic to try to weather the storm of the Galax invasion, and it seems my theory was not as sound as I thought it was."
Oh, so he doesn't like me.
If you want to roll an insight check, you can. Yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point. He doesn't really like humans. It's more of a, it's not like a he personally hates you. It's more of like a, I haven't met many of you, and I've just heard terrible things.
All right. Jax is gonna just stay in the corner now. He's done talking to this man. He's gonna let everyone else do the work here. He's like on red alert suspicion right now.
He's like sort of a hand on his hilt or something.
Yeah.
And then the elf looking at you sees that and says, "I see the Galax haven't changed much."
Ooh.
Hey man, stop affirming his biases.
I have my own biases.
Ooh.
Still, maybe just chill a little bit. We're all friends here.
I think I am chill. If I wasn't chill, he'd be dead.
Damn. Bro.
Anyways, so... Is there anything else you'd like to know?
He looks to you and says, "So I assume you are a Latilia."
We know... Well, I was told I was a halfling.
And he kind of nods and says, "Oh, is that the new word for it?"
Probably, so... Not the same as this guy and not the same as her. Kind of my own thing.
He nods and says, yes, I've met plenty of you. I think there's maybe a handful of halflings in the lower level.
What?
But, yeah, they were prominent members of our empire.
Well, I sure would like to meet them, because I'm the only one of me I've ever met.
Well, if I could take them out of their tubes safely, I would at this point. No one should be kept in stasis for so long. But I seem to lack that knowledge. And then he looks to Ophelia and says, "And what exactly are you? You have the ears of an elf, but you look far more Gallic than anything else I've ever seen."
Well, I'm half human. My dad was a human. My mom, I guess, she was an elf.
You see his face kind of like he's trying to hide it, but it kind of twists into a little bit of like he's grossed out and says. He says, an elf had relations with a Gallic?
Yeah, my dad.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't know my mom very well.
Your dad sounds like a fun fellow.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I got a great dad.
Was he part of the cult?
No, he kind of just, he also didn't realize it was a cult, so he was really excited for us to, like, meet some elves of our own kind and experience some of our culture.
Alright.
Yeah, he wasn't a part of the cult. He didn't know it was a cult. He would have never let us go if he knew. But, you know, that's what a cult is, right? Like, they're pretty good at convincing you that they're a normal thing.
And then he leans in and asks, so which countries are the most prosperous at the moment?
Erden's doing pretty good.
It's Breton.
Right.
And he says, what kind of structures do they have? Is there an entire country in Metropolis, or is it just a loose collection of villages?
Mostly big cities.
He nods and says, cities. Okay, we knew they moved fast, but just 200 years. Okay.
And in the middle of the one city, there's a big old sword-looking building.
He says, oh, is that the, yes, I think I know what you're talking about. We once believed it was a weapon wielded by a titan, but we're not sure.
Oh, currently everybody is monotheistic. The only god that's allowed worship is God.
He kind of like raises a brow at that and says, "Got, okay, that's interesting. Does anyone believe in Bailuda anymore?"
Balude?
And do a religion check here.
Bailuda. So you would know through your travel. Lou would know through his travel. This doesn't ring a bell for Ophelia, but Bailuda is the most commonly believed deity of elves. They have more than one, but Bailuda is the most commonly known outside of the Empire.
Who's just like, well, I mean, I've heard of Bailuda, but as far as I know, if anybody were to be praising them, they would get thrown in jail pretty quick.
He looks a little shocked at that and says they'd be thrown in jail for worshipping the elven god?
At least around here, yeah.
So the Galax are as unfriendly as ever, seems like.
Yeah.
Well,
And then he asks, so what about the elves? What? I know the western half was the northwestern half of Britannia was not doing well when the Galax invaded, but what about the rest of it? How is the Empire doing? You guys will roll history checks. So you would all definitely know this. It's also somewhat common knowledge. The Empire fell during the invasion of the Galax. With Lou's history check and Jax's, you both know that the Galax, it matters who you ask. If you ask like a human historian, he'd be like, oh, they're not invaders, they were running from something else, and the elves are being dicks to them. But if you asked like a halfling or like a elven historian, they're like, nope, they're invaders, they're monsters that attacked us without reason. But they invaded and kind of took over the western half, and there was some bureaucratic red tape going on with the Empire at the time, so they didn't really respond to it in time. Long story short, the western half fell, with the eastern half falling back to its borders beyond the Green Sea, and have remained there since the fall of the western half, and haven't really done much.
yeah, I mean, they're still kind of there, hanging out, not doing much.
And he asks, well, what's their influence like? They have to be constantly sending legions out to fight off the Galax and retake their land, right?
No, I don't think they're doing that.
And you see he kind of like buries his face in his hands and kind of like rubs his eyebrows with the balls of his hand. And it's just like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Times change.
And then he asks, what about the elves in this land, in Breton and in these other new countries? How many are there? Or have they been enslaved?
No, they're just not very well tolerated.
He nods and says, but they're still elves, right?
Yeah, they're still elves. I think they kind of have their own land now.
He nods and says, well, at least they weren't massacred.
That's always a plus.
Weren't they?
Oh,
You
were
guys want to roll
they?
history check if you want. This session's just History Check City. Lou and Ophelia would 100% know that. What?
I mean, we've come across many odd paintings which seem to depict either elf hate or elf genocide or something.
He kind of like raises his brow and says, you mean the ones downstairs?
Yes, but we've seen those in multiple places.
Oh, more places than one. There's modern arts that depict the same thing.
Yes, we did see that in the tombs, right? Like, remember we went into the tomb with the shadow and we saw there were
Oh, right,
yeah,
the massacre that happened at the hospice.
yeah.
Okay, so that coupled with your history check and or Ophelia's history check, you guys would know pretty certainly, like it's pretty famous at this point, that the Galax like slaughtered the elves. They were not happy with them at all, and really just very violently conquered the western area before dividing themselves into smaller kingdoms. But yeah, also in your guys' personal past, you have encountered scenes that show even the Kirkstein before they were the Kirkstein, when they were just the witch hunters, the Hexenjäger. They were pretty brutally hunting down and killing elves.
Yeah, elves aren't very tolerated, to say the least.
And you see he slams his fist down on the desk and like sits back in his chair, like really like miffed, breathing kind of hard, like this is intolerable. And the Empire isn't doing anything about this.
I haven't seen them do anything about it.
He just kind of sits and shakes his head and says, "Well, all right then. Suppose you've earned your pay. If that'll be all here." And he kind of like he waves a hand, and the crown flies through the air over to Lou, since you're the closest.
Okay, let's see. That would just be what? One big gold crown?
It is a crown made of gold encrusted with jewels. You don't know its worth yet, but you would think it's worth a lot.
I'm not gonna inspect it now, but we'll check it out later. Well, thank you.
He looks to you all and says, "I appreciate the information, but please never return."
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
If there's is there any way we could contact you if you need to know anything else from us, or if you need any agents on the outside?
He kind of like rubs his finger against like his upper lip and thinks for a moment. He gets up, goes over and walks over to a chest, opens it up. He takes out 2 stones. They both on one side have like a face, like the side of a face carved into it. And it looks like 2 elfish people like talking to each other if you like put them up right next to each other. He waves a hand, and one of them floats through the air to Yulu and says, "If I ever need anything from you all again, I will contact you with this."
What should we call these?
And he says that these are sending stones, specially modified, be able to contact me in my personal pocket plane.
Clever. Cool. Well, yes. That'll be all from us. It's very nice to meet you, Ferdinand. You are a wonderful host. Just one quick last thing. Is there any sort of express route out?
He says yes, and you see his eyes glow. He begins to wave his hands and chant some words you guys don't understand. And in a flash of light, you guys are suddenly transported just outside of the tower.
Cool.
Well, that was good.
We made out of that like bandits.
Yeah.
You guys didn't get into combat, so.
Yeah, honestly, good for us.
Jax is still very grumpy.
Jax is always grumpy.
He's especially grumpy.
Don't
Well,
forget. So, don't forget, Jax, we have like all that, the gold and the diamonds and stuff too. Yeah,
His mood gets better a little bit, but he says, "I really hope that guy never calls us ever again."
I mean, all things considered, we did break into his house,
And yet, the only one he was mad at was me.
I mean, he did just learn about your people committing genocide on his people.
Yeah. Your people kind of genocided some people. So.
Not to
And so
say,
that makes me genocidal.
no, not at all. But I feel like
Probably
you gotta.
generally pretty like not feeling great about it.
Anyways, should we
Separate some stuff.
well, should we get back first or what?
Oh yeah, let's go get that tracking spell before anything, or like that
Yeah,
answer spell.
we should probably post haste get over there.
Yeah.
Didn't we take like a taxi here? We have to take another taxi.
There was one taxi that goes that way, and you guys got off like halfway.
Oh, so we'd have to walk because
you
there's
guys
not
probably have to
taxi.
walk a few hours before one like passes you by.
I'll turn into a camel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skills.
Have you seen a camel?
Yes, because I spent time in the desert.
Ah, all right.
Yeah.
I'd rather not walk.
I'll turn into a camel.
Okay.
Can
How
you
far can a
carry
camel
all
travel
of
in a
us?
day?
Let's look it up. How far can a camel... Oh, that's the first auto search.
Wow.
25 miles.
In a day?
It says they can carry large loads for up to 25 miles a day.
You guys are definitely a large load.
So it's like they can
Hey.
go very fast, but they can't do it for very long. A large load in this case being 900 pounds.
So you guys get about a couple miles before a taxi comes by, and the guy who's like at the front of the taxi, like whipping the horses, looks at you guys with like his jaw just almost on the bottom of the of where he's sitting on the cart, as he's like staring at this animal he has never seen in his entire life, just like briskly trotting down this common road he rides like every day.
Oh, don't
Without-
worry. She's licensed.
Yeah.
Forget prestidigitation. That's a really good spell right there.
He says, license? What the hell's that? What are you writing?
Person.
What kind of sounds do camels make?
Oh, they honk.
You could spit on his horses.
Okay, I spit on his horses.
Oh.
He says, "What the? Your animal's a beast. need some training."
That's mean.
Sorry, she could be a bitch sometimes.
I can be.
Did that make even Hans laugh?
That was more in reference to she can turn into dogs.
Yeah.
Hans is stoic.
Oh, dang it.
Man, can't make him laugh.
Anyways,
This guy has like purposely slowed down to travel at the same pace as you guys because he is just in awe of this strange animal. Everybody riding in the back of his cart, his cart is just awestruck.
That's
so yeah, this is not the most fast way of travel. Can we please hop on?
Oh, it's a very clear day today. Sun's out, blue sky. He says, well, I guess you could tie your beast of burden here to my cart. And hopefully he won't wander off. But yeah, if you want to hop on.
I'd like to get a ride. Can I turn back into a human now? Or
Okay, you turn back into a person.
Yeah.
You do that, and this guy's like, just like recoils backwards. Like, what is this?
I told you she's licensed.
Luck check. He gets scared and he whips his horses and he tears off.
Wait!
We roll the one.
We'll pay double.
He's just yelling witchcraft, black magic.
We'll pay double.
Kirkstein will be after you.
We're licensed. Oh, she is.
I'm licensed. I have a license.
He doesn't care. He's taken off. Like everybody in the back, like the two people in the very back of his cart, like almost fall off and have to like catch to the railing really quick. It's like everyone's just staring at you guys like in horror as they leave.
Well, there is good news about our crappy situation now. He has a really awesome story to tell at the tavern.
Or we're gonna drive him insane.
What a jerk.
Well, I guess I'll turn back into a camel.
Maybe try. Can you horse? Can horses?
Yeah, I can do horse.
Can horses have 3 people on them?
Well, Hans is pretty light.
Lou is
pretty
basically
light.
negligent.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say if you turn into like a war horse or something, like a heavy burden horse.
We'll just have to ride very close together.
Hans is not happy.
Pelvis to pelvis all the way.
2 friends chilling in a horse.
2.5 men.
Not 5 feet apart, like right next to each other.
Or is it 1 and 2 halves of a man?
Yeah.
I wouldn't bash Hans like that. Hans is my guy.
So you guys just keep traveling on.
How far out are we?
You got like 4 miles on the camel, and you guys are at least like 25 miles away from Wickshire. So you guys got another like 20 miles to go.
Can the horse make it in a day?
Yeah, it could, but it's being slowed down.
I don't know if anyone can walk 25 miles though. That's kind of far.
Not in a
You
day.
get to take turns.
If we take turns, could we make it?
If you're switching off from person to person.
Yeah, like if I walk and then Lou walks and then Hans walks.
No, because you walking is going to slow down the horse.
Oh.
I guess
The horse has to be at like a trot to get to travel its full potential in a day.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get as far as we can.
Okay. So you guys ride out for a while, and after about maybe 3 hours, you see some riders rapidly approaching you guys on the road.
Hey, you going into town?
As they ride up, you quickly note the Kirkstein symbols on their chest. it seems the guy quickly got back to town and told people about what he saw. And you see 3 people, actually friendly faces. You see Gaius and Gawain, on horseback. They look mean. They look unhappy as they approach, as they also have a third person in tow, that you don't recognize.
Lou, just gaslight the crap out of them and tell them that this guy was clearly crazy and thought that your horse was a camel.
They don't know what camels are.
Well, he clearly just like misunderstood what a horse. Like,
did he?
No, but you do have a license. You didn't do anything wrong.
That's true. I liked my plan, but okay.
I mean, we can do both.
It's okay. I'll just turn into a human and show them my license.
So as they as they get closer, they watch you transform back.
Oh no.
And I don't think Jax have met these guys before, but Jax sees a green tiefling leading this very scruffy looking 2 guys behind him. One is very like scruffy, mean looking, with this like intense stare, looking like he's seen like a lot of battle. And the other guy following behind Gaius is this very like younger dude, very like tightly cut haircut, looks very proper. Maybe he's like a new initiate or something. But they all ride up, and as soon as Gaius recognizes you two, he gets like a big smile across his face and says, "Well, friends, it's been a while.
Gaius! Hello!
What are you all doing out here?"
Doing some light traveling, seeing the country.
He says, "Oh, that's very nice, but we've been given an order from our commander that some black magic is being practiced out on the road in broad daylight of all things. You all wouldn't know anything about that."
No. Well,
No, I don't think so.
nothing more than usual. I mean, we were stranded, so Ophelia just tried to help us out by turning into a horse.
Yep.
He nods and says, "Oh, all right." You see his face gets a little more serious and says, "Well, I'm going to need to see all your licenses and identification papers."
Well, she's the only one that did anything.
He nods and says, "Yes, but protocol demands that everyone involved should be identified."
Who got a regular identifying license, right?
Right. You don't have yours. Doesn't say you're a magic practitioner. You
Okay.
convinced the
Sort of
one guy.
like, I have some sort of like military ID.
Yeah, you would have, because you've lived in Wickshire a long time, so you would have identification papers, just like Ophelia and Lou. It's essentially like, visually speaking, it's essentially like a character sheet. It has like a little drawn picture of your likeness, and it says who you are, where you live, so, some basic information about you. It includes your like past in the military and all that. So you guys get the... What?
Am I still a horse?
No, you said you turned back.
Did I turn back or am I a horse?
You said you turned back, so...
Okay, alright.
I thought you said, of course.
So yeah, you all of you hand over your identification papers. He takes them, kind of looks them all over. He draws up kind of this like small knapsack that was on the other side of his horse. Pulls out kind of this clipboard with some like multiple papers on it. Starts filling some paperwork out, and then looks to you, Ophelia, and says, "What was the purpose of using your magic today?"
We had a ways to go, so I just turned into a ride for them.
He nods and says, "So you would say you were in combat or in a dire need?"
I
Yes,
mean,
we were.
yeah, I think we were. I think we were. Because,
was-
like, we had quite a ways to go.
There was a very, very racist wizard, and I
Yeah,
had to get out of there as soon as we freaking could because I don't know what the hell he's trying to do, but he hates humans, and I got a real bad vibe, dude.
You see, guys kind of like lowers his clipboard and says, "A wizard? You met a wizard?"
No.
No.
I mean, we met a guy who seemed magical.
he was racist.
Guys kind of shrugs and says, "That's nothing new." But he was a wizard.
They were
No, he was just a guy who lives in the tower.
A tower. What? Which tower?
The one behind us.
And you point to it.
No, I just shrugged vaguely.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a deception check.
God.
Oh.
Oh, guys, kind of like, you know, he does that thing where he kind of like lowers his chin low and kind of like, really, and says, right. Where exactly did you meet this wizard?
I honestly couldn't tell you if I tried. It was somewhere back there.
I mean, you would know that it was southwest of your position.
Down the road.
I don't think I ever mentioned this, but there is an illusion that shows a like more basic, like disheveled looking like basic tower where you guys would know what the pyramid is. Like when you guys got close, it was a pyramid structure, but from far away, it looks like a half toppled over tower. So people know like where it is. They just think it's like an old, long abandoned tower.
Yeah, it just was an old, long abandoned tower. Some hobo was living in there.
He says, a hobo, huh?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Did you get the name of this man?
Alexander.
Deception check.
Hey.
Oh, okay. He nods and says, Alexander. Okay, does he have a last name?
Poe.
Alexander Poe. All right. He like writes down a little note. Says we'll need to see if he's registered back in Wickshire. What was all your activity this day? What are you guys returning from?
No.
General adventuring.
We were just running some errands for someone in town. They asked us to go grab something that was pretty far out, so...
Gotta earn some cash, you know, to make a living, right?
Yeah.
He looks over his paper and says, "Who are you performing a task for? Do you have a name?"
I don't know their name.
Really
What
bad with names.
What was their name?
I don't think you guys ever asked for his name.
A merchant in town.
The magic guy.
The licensed magic merchant.
Guys, he says, okay. I don't remember the name either. I need to look it up.
I want to out this wizard so bad.
These wizards are like an endangered species.
Jax is very conflicted because he wants to betray the wizard, but he doesn't want to betray his friends.
That is the question.
But he also doesn't want to break the law.
I mean, is there a law saying we gotta report all wizards?
There's a law saying that we shouldn't lie to officials.
We're not under oath.
And we're
I don't
already
see any Bibles around here.
we're already in a gray area, clearly with our cameling.
Who knew?
Cameron.
Moral of the story is we gotta get better at asking people for their name before we talk to them.
Yeah.
You guys never asked for names.
That's why, that's a big problem, yeah.
We just want the facts.
Guys kind of looks to you all and says, I don't really frequent the magic shops. If you don't have a name, I'm not going to lie, that's a problem.
I mean, we could take you there.
And then he says, if unfortunately, friends, I really hate to do this, but if this keeps going in the way it's going, I might need you all to take me there to confirm your story.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then he says, so your use of magic today has been for nothing other than to get to one place to another quickly.
We were running away.
You were running.
No.
What were you running from?
Guys, we need to get our story straight next time.
I already said that I was spooked about the racist hobo over in the tower.
Oh yes, the wizard.
Yeah,
Well,
the wizard.
He's a hobo, so he was calling himself a wizard, you know?
He was
Oh.
he was on some sort of...
He claimed to be able to do magic, but really it was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo and nothing really happened.
He claimed
So-
that he was definitely on some mushrooms or something.
He kind of looks over you all. Go ahead and roll deception checks.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
That's not fair.
I'm gonna fail it for us.
Oh, I'm actually glad I
mean-
did well.
Uh-oh.
I failed it for us, guys. Oh wait,
Not
never
proficient
mind.
No.
in deception.
You're not proficient in deception?
No.
Whoa.
In persuasion.
He kind of looks over you all, and he kind of looks over Lou for a long moment and says, so you were tasked by someone you don't know the name of to go out to a long abandoned tower for a reason you haven't given yet, and you encountered a homeless man on shrooms who referred to himself as a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's so complicated about this. Like,
He was pretty friendly. I mean, he was definitely not very warm to Jax.
Guys, like, rubs his forehead. You see Gawain kind of sitting in the back, kind of like adjusting his seat, like eyes kind of going a little wider, as if like maybe some action might occur.
oh no.
Gaius then asks, he looks to you, Ophelia, and says, have you been cleared for the use of magic in general use?
I don't know.
Roll
don't-
intelligence check.
I don't understand your system. What am I supposed to roll?
Intelligence. You would know that your papers have only cleared the fact that you know magic. You have not been cleared to use it in any form.
Has he seen my papers?
Yeah, he has them all in his hand right now.
So he's asking me a redundant question.
Right.
Am I cleared to use magic in any way?
No.
Even if my life depends on it?
Well, that's why he asked you earlier if your life was in danger.
Okay. Let me think here for a minute.
Let's see.
Look, I have very low blood sugar.
Oh, there we go.
Is that what you actually say?
Should I say it, guys?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Lou?
You're the silver tongue, Lou.
Alright, look, this is all clearly a misunderstanding.
Here we go.
Yes, diffused. I like
You see,
it.
Gaius looks a little done at this point, and he really kind of leans forward on his tail and says, "Yes, all right, yeah, a misunderstanding."
So, we were sent out to find... So, the problem that we're having is that Ophelia here... You're gonna go with a little truth here. I didn't actually say that out loud.
Okay.
The problem we're running into is that Ophelia here has been assaulted by a couple of manic cultists that use magic to track her. And the whole reason we're out here is to go get supplies to bring back to the magic salesman, who we very unrudely did not ask his name, so he can whip up something which would allow Ophelia to live her life freely without being tracked and ambushed every night by these manic cultists.
And you see guys kind of like tip his head up and says, "Oh yes, I heard about something along those lines. Hunter group for the Hunters Guild got attacked by cultists or something. That was you?
That would be us.
Heck yeah, it was.
Interesting.
So
We
we're
showed them, didn't we?
we're just out here gathering supplies for the guy who said he might be able to help us.
And what were you out here gathering?
Twigs.
Oh, this! And
Wait.
then Lou pulls out the power stone. That
You pull out the
has.
power stone.
Yeah.
You pull it out, and guys kind of like his eyes go a little wide. You see he kind of like moves his hands and mutters something, and a little bit of like shimmering energy appears around his hand for a moment, and says, he holds out his hand and says, "Give that to me right now."
Oh,
Okay.
Do you give it to him?
Sure.
right? Like, we don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go up and give it to him, and he kind of like looks it over, like as he's sitting on his horse, just kind of like holding it up to the sunlight and just really analyzing it before he pockets it. Says,
Yeah.
"We'll need to study this back at the Crookstein chapter."
Yeah, okay.
Dude, can we get it back after? If it passes your checks? We don't really know what it does. We're just told to go get the shiny stone.
He says, "It's not up to me. It's up to my superiors. They will hopefully inform you when they come to a decision. Otherwise, it will be confiscated for now."
Damn, we really needed that stone too.
Deception.
Fine. Wait, what if I lose this for us?
You have to do it.
And we have our twigs.
Then,
Or persuasion, right?
Deception.
Oh, deception.
Yeah.
Oh no.
she's just not enthused because she had to, do something she wasn't proud of to get that stone.
Gaius is like rubbing his forehead, like bowing his head, kind of just like looking to the two other guys who are with him, and then looks at you guys and says, "Look, I'm trying to be accommodating."
We are too.
That's why we gave you the stone. We could have been a lot more difficult than we were.
He nods and says, "You're right, but clearly you are not being fully honest with me, and I fear I'm going to have to take you all in.
No.
Alright.
You're acting very suspicious. You're holding things from us. You're freely using your magical abilities when you are not clear to do so."
We were stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Isn't there some kind of fine that we can pay to clear this all up, and then we'll be on our way? What's the damage for using magic when we're not supposed to?
Gaius nods and he kind of flips the papers on his clipboard for a minute and then says, "Yes, well, the basic fine for using magical abilities when you aren't clear to do so is a minimum of 50 gold."
50 gold.
Yes, well, it's not very tolerated in Wickshire. Or
I have
it's,
zero rap sheet. Surely there's some sort of like good guy discount on that.
What are you asking for?
I'm asking for the fine to be reduced because I don't break the law ever because I'm a lawful.
I mean, yeah, you're well known around Wickshire. Go ahead and roll Persuasion. See if that does anything. Guy's kind of like adjusting his seat and says, "Jax, we all know you're a good person, but it seems people you travel with can be not forthcoming at times. I'm afraid this is how it's going to have to be here. I know you all are good people that aren't, I hope, going out and doing something deceitful that will actively harm the people of Wickshire. I am going to leave it as a fine today and allow you guys to return to Wickshire by yourselves."
Does somebody want to loan me 5 gold? I can pay the fine.
It's 50.
Yeah, I have 45.
Oh.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Can't we split it evenly?
I mean, it's just a flat 50 towards you, Ophelia. You can all chip in if you want.
much
Yeah, I've
money do
got
you have?
20. I can loan you a 20 spot.
How much money do you have, Ophelia?
Some.
We're-
Let's just evenly split it.
Alright, if Lou pitches in a 20, I'll pitch in a 20.
Ah,
What about Q?
Hans?
Hans?
Was no help at all for this.
He crosses his arms and just shakes his head.
Damn, what a little bitch.
Should have been nicer to him back in the tower.
So it's 50?
It's 50. But as you go through your coin bag, you find that 20 gold pieces are missing, and there is a note.
Whoa. What's the note?
Does Lou read it?
Yeah?
Read it to yourself,
He
Lou.
ignores it.
So you open it up, it's just like a really small note, and it says listening dues, and under it says, "Bring me more music."
What?
Oh, boo!
Oh,
Wait.
it's from his, god. His,
Yeah.
He's the one who... Oh, that wasn't part of the deal.
Alright,
What?
I'll give,
Okay,
I'll
how
I'll
much
give
do you have?
30 gold if you have 20 to give Ophelia.
Yeah, I've got 20.
Okay, well, I'll
Alright.
depend. Because my Spotify fees.
So we hand over the 50 gold.
Okay, he takes it from you guys. He counts it like individually, like coin by coin. Writes it down on his piece of paper. Then puts it in his pouch. He folds up all of your guys' like identification papers and licenses and hands them back to you all and says, Be more careful with the magic next time. I'd rather not have to do this to friends again. And
Sorry.
do you all have a ride? We have 3 horses."
That would
That would
be
be
very
delightful,
much
please.
appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Says- All right, come along. And he gives you, who wants to ride with who? There's 3 people. There's Gaius, Gawain, and then there's this new guy.
Alright, Egwene.
I'll take the new guy.
Okay.
So I'm with Gaius.
Lou's with Gaius, so I think Hans would go with Lou since they're both light. And then you guys just ride back to Wickshire. You guys get back pretty late after dark. The Kirkstein drop you off at the southern gate. Let you guys off and say, again, remember, don't use your magic when you don't need to, and have a good night. And they all kind of ride off.
Thank you, sirs.
Thanks, Officer O'Malley.
So what do you guys do?
So we should-
You guys are currently standing on the inside of the southern gate of Wickshire.
Better start writing some music, Lou. That was almost really bad.
I mean, did you tell them about the note, Lou?
No.
Okay,
Oh.
so you guys wouldn't know.
You better not get writing the music then.
Well, hey, let's go to the inn, get us a room, and divide up all this treasure and figure out what we want to do with it.
Alright, let's do it.
I was really scared they were gonna confiscate our crown.
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
I don't think they knew.
Well, but if they had like taken us in.
Yeah, that'd been bad.
put a lot
So you
more.
guys go back to, what was it, the responsible knight, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
And would you go with them, Jack, since they're dividing up
Yeah.
treasure? Okay, so you guys all go back. The lady that runs the inn sees you guys come back in and says, "Oh hi, back again, I see.
Yeah. We've had a day.
Oh yeah, you guys want some drink and some dinner?"
Yes, please.
Starved.
She says, "All right, coming right up." And she kind of she doesn't go into the back. She kind of like looks at this younger woman that looks like maybe it's like her daughter or something, and that younger person goes into the back and disappears.
And Lou's like, hey, Ophelia, you know that gem you got that we use sometimes?
Yeah.
Let's use that. Well, we should talk to the innkeepers and be like, maybe we can sell them the food that it makes. Or, you know, maybe only use it if we're completely broke or out camping.
I feel like they'd be insulted if we tried to eat our food instead of theirs.
That's happened already a couple times.
Yeah.
You saying that I should use it?
Well, I mean, or we can just at least, you know, be straight with them. Be like, hey, we've got a magic gem. We'll get you some fresh food for $5. Or for a free room, maybe.
You think that the innkeeper would want a single free meal?
Depends on what you roll.
We could ask her.
Let's see what I get, or should we warn her, or?
I feel like we should ask her if she wants anything,
Yeah.
rather than just assuming. And then if it's bad, then we'll just be like, haha, practical joke.
Okay. Hey, innkeeper.
Well, actually, hold on. Maybe let's not do it tonight now that we just barely got off for using magic.
Yeah, good point.
But I was thinking in the future, thinking about it. Maybe we can make friends with some innkeeps and sell them some food.
We should really look into seeing if you can get your license upgraded, Ophelia.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
What's the vibe looking like in this inn?
It's pretty late. Well, it's not pretty late. It's later. The inn serves as a like a tavern as well as an inn. So, at this time of day, some people who may not be like staying here for overnight are coming in and just getting drinks. So it's relatively full, but there's like maybe 1 or 2 tables open.
Lou kinda asks the bartender, hey, is it alright if I bring some music into this place?
She says, "Yeah, of course. Go ahead."
Alright. So while you guys waiting for food, Lou kinda goes up and just plays a couple songs.
Okay.
I'm
And roll
gonna
performance.
Not with the express intent of getting money, just because he wants to bring music.
He's just playing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty high roll though. Some people flip you some copper pieces.
Yeah.
As you play.
I'm gonna dance to Lou's music to try and see if we can get the tavern dance party.
Okay. You go over. Go ahead and roll performance. Oh wow. You go out there and start busting some moves, and people are kind of like into it. Like you're being a little awkward, but you're owning it, so people are feeling like pretty comfortable, and they stand up and kind of like join you. And there's like at least like a group of 10 kind of like dancing away to Lou's music.
He's playing Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Eventually your food does come out, and since only Ophelia and Hans are sitting at the table now, you see this kind of like younger girl come over, and you know, she already has like the skills of a professional waitress. Has like you know, 2 meals in her hands and then 2 more like on her forearms. Brings them over and kind of half lets you take them from her and half puts them on the table, then leaves. Or actually, before she leaves, she puts out her hand expectingly.
Oh, okay. I'll give her a copper piece.
Just 1 copper?
Is that not a lot?
No.
5 copper pieces?
Okay. You put that in her hand. She kind of frowns at it and then just walks away.
Oh.
America
Okay.
is the only country that tips, Stu.
Yeah, come on, Stu.
You're supposed to be paying for your meals right now, so.
Oh, we should have paid for meals?
Yeah, you guys haven't paid for it yet, so.
That's awkward.
I thought we were gonna pay at the end like a normal restaurant.
Nope.
Barkeep, put it on our tab,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. Lou starts
As you-
playing the original song from the plane next door. Put it on my tab.
She looks over to you guys and says, "We don't do that here."
Oh. Then Ophelia, pay the woman.
How much
That's
is
the
it?
other new song.
So a meal for 4 people would be about 40 gold, or not gold, 40 copper.
How about instead, you dance with me because I clearly have some renowned dance skills.
Are you seeing it to the innkeeper?
Yeah, innkeeper needs to have some fun. Stop being so stuck up.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Nope.
She frowns at you and like you see her nose kind of like wrinkle up a little bit. Like, that's okay, honey. I don't need to do that.
In fact, now you gotta pay more.
Yeah.
Nah, if I had rolled 1 lower, it would have been that.
So
You
you
guys
guys now.
gonna help me pay for this, or?
Man, we paid your fine.
You didn't.
I paid
Yeah,
30
you-
gold for
you
that. I
did.
shouldn't have
Paid 10
paid
gold.
Jack.
Alright, I'll cover Jax. I'm not paying for Lou.
Well, I paid 10 gold.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Did you?
Wait, did we give them 60 for a fine?
Oh.
Wait, I think we gave him too much.
Oh, well then I gotta put 10 back in my purse then, because apparently I didn't pay. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Add
Um,
10 back
yeah.
because guys would have noticed that.
But the, okay, so then Lou's between songs just kind of scoops up some of the little coppers and chucks them at Ophelia.
Okay. Since you don't have you don't have like a hat laid out or anything, people have just come in flipping them to you. You only get like 7.
Yeah, that's enough for a meal. Lou's in his element, he can't be disturbed.
So Ophelia has 7 copper chucked at her.
Great. That makes me feel good.
Just kind of like bounces off your arm like one at a time.
Okay, I have 7 cop. Wait, that's not even enough to pay for his meal. Come on, guys. Hans, you gotta pay a little bit for this.
Lou takes off his hat and puts it in front of him.
Okay.
Just being cheeky. And all the while this conversation's going on, he hasn't stopped playing.
Okay.
And Jax just keeps on dancing.
You see Hans, he slides forward his 10 copper, no issue. Yeah, so you put out your hat.
Pay my 10 copper.
That was pretty high performance. So you give out 13 silver and 19 copper.
Ew.
Nice.
throw the rest of the copper. Just constant, between guitar ukulele strokes, just throwing them at Ophelia.
Barrage.
I hope you're good at catching coins.
Just keep like some go wide, some just hit you and fall to the ground.
How many do I get?
I mean, they're all coming at you.
Maybe Hans can help catch too.
I don't think he's going to.
Does Hans hate us?
A little bit.
He's not amused by the party antics. I guess I'll say that.
I slap Hans on the back and say, "You gotta learn to live a little, buddy."
He crosses his arms and just doesn't say anything. So you got your food is at your table. Lou has made enough to pay for his meal now. If Jax wants to pay for his.
Yeah, I pay.
Okay, so just take off 10 copper.
I don't have any copper, so how much copper is 1 silver?
One silver is 100 copper.
Okay.
Jack, I'll pay for you.
How much silver did I get? Did it say 17?
You got 13 silver.
Yay.
and 19
It's
copper.
probably better that I pay so that I actually have copper and won't have to do the math in the future.
Can you break the silver for me?
Yeah. Do you have any change, innkeeper?
So you guys want to divvy up your spoils?
We'll do that back in the room. So.
Yeah, we can't do it out in the open.
Okay. So you guys have your dinner. The energy is much more lively after Lou plays. The conversations are louder. People seem a little happier. But the night, you guys eat, and then the night winds down a little bit, and you guys retire to your rooms. But before you go up, the innkeeper stops you guys and says, "Stay another night. That'll be another silver."
Okay. Lou plings her. Wait, that's 1 silver per room, right?
Well, per person.
Lou
Oh yeah.
flips a coin in her direction.
Okay.
Okay, I give her silver too.
Okay.
Me
So
also.
you guys 3, and then she looks to you, Jack, and says, "You staying too?"
Yep. Today I am. I got some friends that I wanna hang around with.
Well, all right. That'll be 1 silver.
There you go, miss. This is a fine establishment. You should be proud of yourself.
She takes it and she hands you all keys. And you guys go to your rooms. You can choose one room to do all the divvying up in, or
Yeah.
I mean that makes the most sense. So you guys go to one room, and these rooms are small, so 4 people in there is a little cramped, but you guys fit in, and there's like a little round table that looks like it can comfortably fit 2 people around it, if you want to use that.
Got 2,000 copper pieces. So $20. Hans, you looking to get in on this?
Yeah, he definitely nods.
Alright. So, math. Each person gets 500 coppers.
Oh dang! I should have waited. I could have just had copper anyway.
275 silvers.
Wow.
Dang, we're making bank.
Assuming we're splitting this all equally.
Yeah.
20 gold.
Hey, alright, we made the gold back.
Oh, some of us have.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so now we got these gems here.
Is there any use for these gems other than just selling them? Like, is there a reason why we shouldn't?
They
Like-
could be useful for like decoration for an armament or constructing a specific like sword, but to your guys' knowledge, probably is just good for selling.
I want to roll an arcane check.
Okay. What for?
Is general gems knowledge a thing?
I think that would be more intelligence.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nature?
I mean, what are you trying to figure out about the gems?
I'll just... Well, if there's any special perks or if there's anything... I guess Lou wouldn't know any of that.
Should I-
Anyways.
I'll roll an arcane check.
Okay. For what?
If there's anything special about the gems.
Okay.
Dang. thing?
To your knowledge, it's maybe it could be used to make a special sword of some sort. Maybe.
Alright, so let's see. We got all these gems here. Let's see, the diamonds.
Yeah, I think
You
I
get
think
a
we can
diamond.
part with them.
Dividing them up right now, equal to more or less equal gold pieces value.
Should we sell the gems?
We're gonna divvy them out, and you do whatever you want with your gems.
Okay.
So there's 9 gems that are all worth the same. So one person gets 3 and the rest get 2.
Yeah. Let's say, how about Lou? Lou likes to look at the 2 diamonds. Jax, do you want the bloodstone and the citrine? Ophelia, do you want the 2 moonstones? And Hans, you cool with the onyx and the star rose quartz? And
Good with
then,
me.
how about we all roll a 1d4 to see who gets the Jasper?
Alright.
Whoever gets highest wins.
Dang, not me.
I'm also gonna roll for Hans. Oh, never mind.
Haha!
Got
Hans
it.
got a 3.
Alright, roll off. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Alright, roll off again.
Aha!
All
Alright.
right.
I'll add all these to my character sheets.
Yeah, I should probably add that to my inventory.
Loot! I can buy a loot with my loot.
How much does this stuff weigh?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. For now. I don't know, like a pound each. I don't know.
Should we go to sleep?
Does anybody have any clues about what this crown may have been? I'm gonna roll a
Yeah,
history check. Yeah.
Okay, I'll roll
Ooh. Now that we've got some time to kind of inspect the diamonds. and
Sure, we
stuff.
did not do
I
that at
know
all.
what it is.
I also
So
have my magical mystery scimitar I need to check out.
that is very true. So you guys look over this crown, and it is a, it's a gold band that is relatively thick. It is heavy to like when you hold it in your hands, it's like heavy. It has several jewels encrusted into it, like decent sized ones, not just like tiny little things, but like decent sized ones. The crown is immaculate in its design and like technical craft. It like has a bunch of intricate geometric like lines hammered into it to like be outdented and to create this like really elegant and pretty looking like swirls that go all around the golden base that lines the gems. But other than that, it is a relatively simple golden band with jewels encrusted into its sides.
Who puts it on as a joke?
Okay, it's a little too big for your head. Kind of just falls down to your neck.
Look at me, I'm king of the hotel room.
We all laugh. Alright,
So you guys go.
head to bed?
Yeah, dude. Are we gonna have to go to the store to figure out how much it's worth?
Yeah. So you guys are gonna have to go to the store and tell him that you couldn't get the crystal ball, but you don't know whether or not he's going to be able to figure out its full wealth himself. He might need to go to a jeweler.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go there first
Jeweler?
and get our money first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exchange these gems and stuff.
Yeah, let's do that. Alright, see you guys in the morning.
So you guys go to bed. It is a relatively relaxing night. Nothing really happens other than you have to deal with the noise of the revelry that is going down in the bar area. But you guys get to sleep just fine, and you wake up the next morning. But you guys all wake up the next morning.
Let's go
Do you-
find some sort of jeweler or guy who can appraisal guy. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is Jax able to just kind of lead them to the jeweler?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. Okay. So yeah, you probably know where one is. You know of the Curly Blossom, the Angelic Scale Pin, and the Virtuous Dream.
Let's go to the Curly Blossom.
Okay. So you guys set out, and you quickly find that it's not too far from the Elder Tomes, the place that had the really unfriendly shop owner. And you guys go and you enter in, and at the front you find this like really old lady that is like dressed in this really fine Renaissance era dress, with her hair up into like side buns. She looks pretty good for her age, but she definitely is older. And you guys enter and she says, "Welcome, welcome. What can I do for all you?"
We need to get this crown appraised.
So you hold it up, and she like her jaw drops, her eyes go wide, and she says, "Where did you find this?"
In the forest.
Yeah.
Her face goes from like in awe to like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
No, it was a gift from an old friend.
You must have some very rich friends to get something like this.
We do indeed.
Not necessarily rich, but powerful.
Oh, okay. You all must be some pretty upper class patrons then.
Well, I am. I don't know about the rest of these fools.
She says, "Well, all right. I will. You want this appraised, right? I'll get right to that." And she kind of
Please.
goes over to her desk. Her like this place is like notably bigger than either of the magic shops you guys visited. With it's the usual like jeweler setup with several pieces like behind glass, and so people can like look at them. But like, you assume all the best stuff is probably in the back. It's where it can't be stolen. And she goes to her front desk area and takes out like this little pouch of tools, this like the single eye like magnifying glass, and like zooms into it and like checks its craft and makes sure there's no like rusting. One of you can go ahead and roll just a straight d20 for me. So she does find quite a bit of rust on it. It seems it wasn't kept very well. It looks like one of the sockets for the gems is like just missing a gem, where another one might be cracked. She says, "Well, this is a very nice piece, but this friend of yours did not take very good care of it. It's such a shame because it's so beautiful, but I would say that the price I could give you for it is about 2,000 gold."
Well,
That's
this
what I
actually, this friend of ours is an old family friend, and he was hoping that this would pay for this strapping young man's here's college tuition.
She says, "Oh, you're going to the College of Canon? Who are you referring to, Jax?"
Sure.
She looks at Jax and says, "Oh, She looks over you, Jax, and you're like in full armor with a sword at your side and like with like probably like this battle-hardened glare. And she says, "Oh, you're going to the College of Canon?"
No. I am going to the college.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bard by trade. I'm getting my master or PhD in music craft.
Go ahead and roll deception. Well, because you're lying.
All right.
She kind of like nod. She kind of nods her head and says, "Okay, that's nice. That's really good for you."
All right. Well, yeah. I guess 2,000 gold is a fair price. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to try haggling?
How much was the necklace again? 200 gold?
It was 250.
And we're getting 2,000 for this crown?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, that sounds good.
So she kind of goes back to she disappears in her back storage area for a second. Then she comes back with a this like big sack, this big coin sack, and puts it on the table and starts counting out 2,000 gold. And it definitely takes a minute, but she gets there and then slides it all to you guys. And she says, "Deal's done?" Since she has the crown in her hand.
Why do I feel like we could get more for this?
I tried haggling, but apparently I had to use perception instead of persuasion.
Maybe we shouldn't get too greedy.
Yeah, I think.
Just one real quick question I have, more out of curiosity.
Okay.
did you find any sort of magical properties to that crown?
She says, "Oh well, I'm not really the person to be looking at that. I don't know anything about magic.
Okay, well that just seemed all normal to you though. I mean, not
I
shiny.
suppose I don't really know the first thing about how to find out if something's magical."
Okay. Well, I guess yeah. Well, this is good.
Do you know what this crown is, ma'am?
She looks at it and
It belongs in a museum.
she looks at it and says, it looks old and it looks very pretty. It has a lot of rust on it though.
Well, I guess that's that then.
Okay. So she takes the crown to the back room along with the big stack of gold coins. And you guys have the stacks of 10, like each stack is 10 gold just sitting on the table for you guys to take.
Alright, everybody gets
Thank you.
500. Wait, did I get that right? 2,005.
Okay.
We did it, boys. Let's retire.
Yeah, let's go to the guy.
The magic shop.
Okay, so you guys go back and it's essentially across town to Potent Products. You guys walk in, and there's like a little bell attached to the door, and it rings as you guys enter. And the guy comes out. He's wearing a different vest than before. This one's like golden with purple trimming. But he's wearing like relatively similar looking, like well-fitted business black pants with his hair slicked back. He says, "Oh hey, it's the adventurers. Welcome back."
Hello.
Hey.
As soon as we left, we realized we never caught your name. Apologies for that.
He says, "Oh yes, I'm sure that could cause some trouble, but I'm Catan Douglas.
Okay. Nice to officially meet you, Catan.
And how about your names? I don't think I caught your names either."
I'm the fantabulous Lou Goy.
"Nice to meet you."
I'm Ophelia.
I'm
Nice to
Jack.
meet you.
How do you spell this guy's name?
Catan.
Catan.
And this is and this is Hans. He hasn't talked much.
He says, "Nice to meet you," and Hans just like head bowed, like you can barely see his eyes under his hood, just glaring at the guy. He says, "Well, how'd it go? Did you get the crystal ball?"
So, funny story.
No, we didn't get it, but we do have enough money now to pay you.
We couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it. That's interesting. I had it in confidence that it would be there, but
But we have enough to pay for the spell now.
oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine then. So I was, as I believe I said before, it was about 250 gold per. If you all wanted one, to be 250 gold per person.
Well, I'm the only one that needs it.
Okay, so just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one for me.
How long would this take to make? I have some time on our hands.
We can go to the jeweler
He
and
says-
get stones.
He says, if I'm using the materials we discussed before, just basic as possible, leather and wood pieces that serve as materials, I can't guarantee it'll be the most sturdy thing ever, but it would cut the time it would take to create it down to about 15 days.
How long would it take to make something sturdier?
If you want me to make something made out of full metal, that would take about 20 days, but that would also raise the cost.
So what?
It would be the full 500.
So when you say it's not very sturdy, does that mean it won't like hold up in battle, or like will it wear off after a while? Like what do you mean?
Well, it is leather and wood, so it would really just take some. It is magical, so it'd be more resistant to those things than your usual leather and wood. But it would, if something of sufficient power were to strike it, it might fall apart. Yeah.
Well, that's fine because it's already gonna take long enough to make. So let's just go with that one.
The leather and wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should Lurge, we just got paid.
That'd
All
be
right,
like,
yeah,
oh,
okay. I'll get the full-on one. I'll get the full-on one.
You want the full-on one? Okay. Do you want anything special? Or do you just want straightforward metal?
Wait, what is it exactly again?
It would be a necklace, with a pendant at the bottom.
It'd be like a green pendant.
If you'd like, I could use a green shaded metal.
And copper.
In copper.
Yeah, like a copper color for the metal.
Okay. So would you like a copper chain as to hold the pendant around the neck?
Well, I guess I wouldn't break it down. I guess a gold chain.
You want a gold chain?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. That would customizing it like this would raise the price a little bit, but I could do it.
No. Just do whatever you gotta do for 500.
Okay. For 500, I could do a basic metal chain that attaches to a solid, likely iron core pendant. The actual pendant itself would hold the magical effect. It would require you to wear the necklace for the effect to take effect. But yeah, it would all be made out of iron and be far sturdier than just leather and wood.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I will take half my payment now, and I'll take the rest afterwards.
Okay.
Hey,
225 now.
Right, so it would be
250.
250 now.
Alright.
And he says, yes, obeying the regulations of Wickshire, I cannot actively hold magical items. I have to create it and then hand it off to someone. So it will take me 20 days to complete it.
Alright.
All right,
Okay.
Lou, time to work on that next rock opera.
Also, while we got you here, I've been carrying around this sword. I've been calling it the Magical Mystery Scimitar. Any chance you could take a look and let me know what it's all about?
Okay, so you take it out, and the sword is like, it stands taller than you. It is a full scimitar. So you take it out and kind of like awkwardly hand it to him, and he takes it up onto his desk, and he says, he kind of looks it over and says, interesting. He looks it over and says, well, this definitely looks like elven craft. I mean, look at these swirls and how the hilt itself has these multiple pieces that kind of look feather-esque, which was popular in the Elven Empire for a long time, especially before the western half fell. And with this, it has that emerald core at the center of its hilt, probably the thing that holds a enchantment. And he kind of like moves his fingers around and chants something under his breath. You see runes kind of glow in the air for a second before fading, and he says, well, that's interesting. And then he does it again. He chants and mutters something under his breath, and moves his hand in the exact same way. And he looks over a little confused, like, I'm not detecting anything. This definitely looks like a magical sword of some sort, but as far as I can tell, it holds no magic.
Cool. So we don't need to register it.
He laughs and says, well, yeah, I guess not.
Alright. Well, thanks. Here's a silver for your troubles.
Oh, thank you. And you gave him the 250 gold, Hannah?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are good with him.
Alright. Do you want to go... Oh, I should probably go figure out how to get fully registered.
I think I might have to call it there for tonight, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
that was good session.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm really shocked we did not have to fight that wizard. I thought he was gonna come up swinging on us.
It's like, no, don't turn me into a toad.
Yeah, I was like, Lou might be taken for some massive damage here.
I was expecting it. I thought Jax was going to say something and he was going to throw hands.
Jax was ready to throw hands, but he wanted to give Lou a chance to get us out, because fighting's not always the answer.
But yeah, you guys didn't really antagonize him at all, so he didn't really blow up or anything.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's good.
Was he gonna be difficult for us?
That's why I wanted to keep. I knew he's just giving us his crown just to get us out of his hair.
I
Yeah.